So what's going on, guys? It's Mazda Monday, late again at 11 p.m. I got a crack on this screen, so I got to get that fixed before I start doing any more videos. But today, we're going to go over steel brake lines, right? So last week we talked about how my lightweight wheels really helped braking, right? It was so much easier for me to brake. And I just really like that, that was noticeable, right? And so after getting that done, I was like, man, I would really like to add a little bit more to that, because it felt better, but I still had that spongy brake feel where on our cars, as you're pushing on the brake, it doesn't engage right away, and you keep pushing. There's like a little dead space, and you keep pushing a little bit more, and then the brake finally engages. Like the pads feel like they lock on the on the rotors, and over time your brake pads they fade, and you lose your brake pads. They eventually got to replace them. But as your brake pads are being worn down, you'll notice if you open your engine bay, if you look at your fluid for your brake fluid, like the little overflow container, you'll notice that the level goes down as the brake pads also wear out. So as your brake pads are wearing out, keep an eye on the level of that and fill that back up, because you got to remember your brake system is pressurized, right? And topping off that fluid, I don't know how much it helps it or not, but keeping that topped off, I feel like you're going to be able to get better brake pressure having that topped off, not over filled, but where it says the fill line is. All right, so today they're already on the car. I'm not going to go out there as late. It's 11 p.m. I got steel brake lines from Shane, and I put them on the car at the same time as putting my Z23 pads, which Shane does not like at all. A couple of my guys that got his steel brake lines, they also have those Z23 brake pads. No issues, low brake does. They're not meant for racing, they're just street use pads if you want, low brake does. But anyways, I did my research, watched YouTube videos. I watched a couple tests on steel brake lines versus rubber, and like the main benefit between the steel and the rubber brake lines. And so pretty much, especially with our stock brakes, our rotors, they get hot really fast and they can't dissipate the heat. So a lot of people don't really know like the meaning, for the big brake kit. When you got big brakes, like your rotors and everything like that, you can dissipate the heat from the braking a lot faster when there's just more material there. When you have like a small rotor, the rotor is absorbing all that heat from the friction as you're slowing down, and it heats up very quickly. And so, as you know, once your brakes get hot, they like glaze over, and then you can't stop well. So the point of having a big brake kit isn't necessarily being able to stop faster, because there's other things that are involved in stopping, like your tires. Like the grip of your tires are going to help you stop better. The weight of the vehicle, all these different factors is not just the brake kit. Everybody worries about the size of the brakes, but that's not really what's going to help you stop. Having big brakes also allows for a more even wear if you get more pistons on your calipers. So usually when people get big brake kits, they upgrade from like a single piston to like a 4 piston or a 6 piston. Now these pistons like kind of help spread out, distribute the weight, or not the weight, but distribute the pressure onto the pad a little bit better. But anyways, let's just go over steel brake lines. Shane's brake lines work, because he doesn't believe in the pads. But anyways, the first thing I noticed with the brake pads or not the brake pads, but just the brake feel, is when I would press the pedal. Obviously we changed the fluid, but I already had topped it off before that. There was no air in my lines. But the first thing I noticed is just that when I touch my brake pedal, there's feedback already. There isn't that dead space anymore to where I'm pressing, I don't press it, and all of a sudden it catches. Now I have a more linear brake feel. So when I press the brake, it I can feel it engaging right away, and as I press it more, it engages more, and there's not that little dead space like there was before. And I know that's not because of the brake fluid, because brake fluid is just, the better brake fluid you have, the better it can transfer the heat, when you're braking. So steel brake lines, how it works when I'm talking about where you feel that linear compression of your brake pedal and everything's doing what it's supposed to. All this revolves around heat and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you my stock lines. So here are my stock brake lines, right? They are not made of steel. They are like this rubberized, material. So the thing is, this is subjected to a lot of heat, right? A lot of heat cycles. You're braking all the time, and then when you heat things up, they become more pliable. And like if I heat this with this cold versus hot, when this is hot, it can expand a little bit easier, right? So imagine, you're in your car and you decide to go do a canyon run, and you're braking all the time. Now that all the fluid in here is starting to heat up, right? And the lines, these rubber lines are getting hot, whatever material they actually made for them. It's getting hot as you're doing your canyon run, and then you go to hit your brakes real hard. Now, because this is hot, over time, when you're pressing that brake pedal, you're pressurizing the system, right? And when you pressurize the system, it's going to push the piston into from the caliper into the rotor. So what ends up happening is, as this is heating up and you're pushing pressure through these lines, it starts expanding, right? So as I'm pressing my brake pedal, instead of the fluid traveling straight to to my caliper and into the pad to press against the rotor, what ends up happening as that pressure hits, before it starts to head down this way, this line starts to expand out. So you're losing force and energy because of the expansion, like possible expansion during heat of these lines. So these lines can get, stretched out or whatever, and they don't hold the pressure to go straight into where it's supposed to be to activate the piston. So literally, if this gets super hot and you have a lot of pressure in here, you know what I'm saying? Instead of it just going straight to where it's supposed to be, there's going to be expansion. And so now you're getting like fluid being lost in the direction of not compressing pressing a piston into the brake pad to, cause braking. So with the steel lines, you don't have to worry about expansion of the lines, right? Because as it heats up, it's still braided. It's not going to expand. It's not going to become more pliable as it heats up. It's going to have rigidity versus this as it heats up. I'm pretty sure this is some good rubber material, but it's not going to be as good as steel. So as this heats up, like I said, as the pressure is coming through, it'll start expanding the line, and that's where you're losing all that. That's when I'm getting that dead spot. It's like I initially press it, and instead of that just going straight through it, the line expands instead of pressing all that fluid through, and that's where I'm getting that little dead spot. When I switched over, it just completely disappeared. All right, so get these steel brake lines if you really don't want to get a big brake kit. I think these are about $150. Get this, and then I think I spent maybe, $80 on some pads. And you can get 4-dot fluid if you want. But yeah, the steel brake lines on the car, I'll show you a picture of what they look like. I'll also... So yeah, guys, I'll leave descriptions in the video or below the video of, if, you don't find that adequate enough, if the steel brake lines and having lightweight wheels are not enough for you, and you really want to do a big brake kit, there are cheaper ways to do it. I don't know about you, but I prefer OEM Plus. So, I've been looking online and in the groups. The CX-30 Turbo actually has bigger rear rotors. So if you're thinking about doing a big brake kit and you want to do all around for cheap, you could do the CX-30 turbo rears, and then on the 4th gen, you can do the Hyundai rotors with the CX-9 caliper. So I'll try to find the links for those. I'll ask some of the members, but I'll post those links at the bottom of the video. And yeah, if you want to do a big brake kit for like less than half the cost of the ones that are out there, I'll have some links in the bottom below. And yeah, guys, I'm just real busy right now getting this website up and running. Hopefully once I get this website up and I get Q&As all taken care of, I'll have more time to put into higher quality videos instead of me just sitting on my couch like I always do. Because I don't want to be lazy. I want to do content. And, you know, once I free up time by not having to answer all these questions, I'll be able to do that for you guys. And, you know, shout out to Chad for being patient with me. Right now, he is my last 2021 that I'm having issues with. He's also waiting to put his big turbo on his car. But before we do that, we need to dial back down his torque. So it's not that we're having issues. The car makes way too much power right now, and we're turning it down so that we're able to tune the turbo like we want. I have a few customers that have the turbo and they haven't put it on yet. I have one customer that has it on, but he's so busy with work, he still hasn't sent me his dump file. So I've been waiting for that for a few weeks now, and the turbo's installed on his car. So he just doesn't drive it much. So yeah, guys, so turbo tunes are coming, like the base tunes are done. I'm ready to get this pure turbo stuff going. But before we do that, 21s are a pain in the butt, but that's only because of downpipes, you know, because it spills up so much. 22 plus, no issues. You throw a downpipe on a 2021, they start making crazy power, and it's a process to turn them down, right? And it's not just, you know, I'm not saying don't get the downpipe 21s, get the downpipe. You gain power. But once your downpipe becomes catless, it becomes a challenge to tune it. So the first guy I had with the issue, you know, with Sebastian, he has a 21 and he's catless. But because he is at like 2,500 feet in elevation, he's not making as much power. So the issue was easy to resolve with him. Whereas my guy Chad's at sea level, making a ton of power. And he actually, you know, did some hard driving and blew out the cat that's in his CS downpipe. So guys, yeah, the downpipes can be destroyed just by driving hard on them. So he's now has a catless downpipe and making a ton of power. So that's it for this video, guys. I'll leave the link to my website for tuning. That'll be up sometime this week, hopefully Thursday. I'll have everything up and running, and I'm gonna run a special for at least like 3 weeks. I'll give $25 off the tuning service just to get it going, to get traffic to the website. But I thank you guys for supporting me so far, and I never expected to have, you know, the following I do on YouTube, just from sharing basic information. So next week, I'm hoping to get more turbo content for you guys. Supercharger stuff, it can be on hold. I actually do need to go over some supercharger stuff because there's just little things here and there that people are just not doing. And I just can't keep going over these questions over and over again. So guys, just bear with me. The quality will improve. I know I've been saying that every video, but now that this website, I finally just, you know, took the time to get it done. Things will go a lot smoother. I'm gonna have more time, be able to manage it a little bit better. If there's something you guys want to go over, like maintenance stuff, like, you know, maybe transmission drain and fill, stuff like that. If y'all want me to do like tutorial videos on that stuff, just let me know, and I'll try to get that stuff recorded for you guys. So that's all for now, guys. Later.